Hi, my name is Aubrey Adams. I'm making this video for a student at the Polinsky Coalition Against Drugs and the citizens of Missouri. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, so Missouri is very dear to my heart, and I have family in Southern Illinois and still in St. Louis, and I would hate to see Missouri fall to the marijuana charade. So I hear you have bills that the Drug Policy Alliance is pushing medical marijuana, which is the same as recreational marijuana, and it is a stepping stone to recreational marijuana. So I'm here to do a video blog to you, which I do often, to speak out on the truth of marijuana and show the true impact, because I lived through it in the state of Colorado. I am a witness to what happens to a family and a community after you legalize marijuana. I did vote yes for medical marijuana because I wanted to help people, and my friend had a daughter, and she's told me that her daughter really benefited from the CBD oil. So who wants to stand in the way of that, right? We want everybody to get help, especially kids that are suffering. I will tell you, I regret that vote now, after what has conspired of this deceptive marijuana industry. Their medical claims are mostly false. Some of them are true. There have been children with seizures that have benefited, but the good news is they have a CBD product available through the FDA that is safe. Well, it's not totally safe, but it's safer than what the marijuana industry is producing. I have learned a lot about what they're calling medical marijuana, and I would advise you not to let this industry into your community for a number of reasons. One is that it's harmful to people, their products are not safe, and it'll increase the black market, the illegal market in your neighborhoods. The legalization of marijuana will bring the war on drugs into your neighborhoods, and I'm a living witness of that. So first of all, let's talk about what is medical marijuana. So we need to define that. Well, you can't, because it's all in that above from the marijuana industry. They are seeing some potential medical benefits from the CBD products, but the good news is, I told you about the Epidiolex is available. The CBD oil is available through the FDA, where medical professionals can prescribe that and monitor it, it's not a bud tender playing Russian roulette with people's brains that doesn't have the license or the accountability, or has to list the harms and risks to using their product. One of the harms and risks that they don't tell you about CBD is when it's digested into the acidic environment of our stomachs, that it converts to THC. So my friend had a psychotic break from digesting the CBD oil, Charlotte's Web, that she drank in a soda form. She has cancer, and she was told to go and get the product to help her cancer pain, and she did. She drank the whole soda, and she hallucinated, and she tried to jump out of a window. You can hear her whole testimony on my YouTube channel. You just put Aubrey Adams in. You'll see a pretty picture of trees, and my name is spelled A-U-B-R-E-E. And it's Colorado Mom's letter to Governor Scott of Vermont, which is a whole nother different story about how we've reached out to these elected officials and educated them on the true impacts of marijuana, and they just blatantly ignore us and continue to do what they want to do. So I'm pleading to Missouri to not allow this deceptive industry, these deceptive people into your community and set up shop and allow home grows and personal use, because the black market will completely explode. So when you talk about CBD and the harms and risks, I mentioned that it is converting to THC, and also the CBD products, you can't get all the THC out of those products. The only one that has the smallest amount is the one through the FDA that medical professionals can prescribe. And so there's a good article that talks about that, educates on that, and it is available. I'll put the link to the article in the comment section down here so you can have access to that. But It's by Sarah, and she doesn't put her name on the article. She doesn't, I mean, her last name on the article, because when you speak out about this, you get harassed, bullied, and threatened big time. I have never dealt with such abusive people. Oh, here's the name of the article. I was trying to get it for you. Is CBD oil harmful or healing? What no one is telling you. And it's by Sarah. It was published on September 4th, 2018. And it's on the website, thehealthyhomeeconomist.com. CBD oil dangers. So that is something they don't have to list on their products. So that is a big warning. And I have witnesses that have come forward to talk about their experiences. So we definitely want this monitored by medical professionals and not bud tenders. There was another great article by Dr. Hildebrandt. He's a chemist out of Colorado. I have met him numerous times. He's a wonderful man, very educated. He educates me very well. I have interviewed him. You can see an interview with him on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook Lives. He was on one of those too. But he has a great article called Hemp and Cannabidiol, What is Medicine? And this was just published this past month, August of 2018, Missouri Medicine. And I'll put the link to the PDF file on the comment section here. But he explains how deceptive the industry is and what they are labeling labeling as medical when they can't. It hasn't been through medical trials. And he talks about how the DEA is still ruling marijuana and the derivatives of marijuana as Schedule 1 because they can't get all the THC out of it. So that's very important to know. And he also talks about how the FDA sent letters to some of the marijuana companies warning them to stop making all these false claims. And what's interesting is kind of the respected product from the Stanley brothers called Charlotte's Web. It was named after a little girl named Charlotte who the CBD oil was helping her seizures, which is very positive. We want to support that. But their products aren't as foolproof as they have been saying. And my friend who had the psychotic break after drinking the CBD oil drank Charlotte's Web strain. So we need the public to be aware of that there are THC, there is THC in those CBD products, and the THC, when it's introduced to an acidic environment, the CBD is converting to THC. Very, very important. He also talks about, Dr. Hildebrand also talks about how they're making all these claims, how it's medical marijuana is like a harm reduction drug, and which is not true. The science article that came out of that was not even significant. It was very weak science, and if you talk to any scientist about that, as long as they're not a marijuana scientist, because you'll run into a lot of those, they will tell you how weak that claim is. And in Colorado, where I'm from, where I witnessed what happened to my family and my community after marijuana is legalized, our opioid overdoses are skyrocketing. And I take it personally when they make these claims that marijuana is a harm reduction drug, because I know families, I know parents that don't have their children anymore that believe that claim. They had an opioid addiction and they believed that they could go and use marijuana because nobody dies from marijuana, right? Which is another false claim. Nobody overdoses from marijuana. Oh yeah, people are overdosing from marijuana, and I'll explain that in a little bit too. It's just their overdoses look differently because of the receptor sites compared to the opioid receptor sites and the endocannabinoid system receptor sites. The cannabis is has those that is linked to. So, you know, this industry is going around making these false claims because they're in the business of addiction and mental health economics. They're making money off people that are vulnerable, that have addictions or some kind of disease or terminal disease, making all these false claims. Now, it's good to know that you have the CBD product available through the FDA, and there's also other products already available. They have been available for years, and cancer patients have been receiving marijuana for years. people with AIDS. So them say that this is a new thing, that all of a sudden that they're having access to this is a false claim. It's just because they want to make money off these people. Also, another avenue for people with diseases or terminal illnesses, there's a federal law that President Trump put into law called the Right to Try Act, and that is specifically for the people that have tried traditional medical treatments that are not working, that can go ahead and have that right to try other medications or drugs to either help them with their disease or make them more comfortable from suffering from their diseases. So there's two avenues there. There's no need to legalize any medical marijuana with those two avenues open. We want those people to have safe access, and the medical marijuana industry is not safe access, and go to my YouTube channel to see why. And also the products they make, you'll say, oh no, these are recreational marijuana products. No. The medical marijuana products and the recreational products look exactly the same. You go into the shops, they make the exact same claims. They make products in deceptive forms to disguise use. My friend drank a CBD soda and had a full-fledged psychotic break, and she's lucky to be alive today. So you need to know the truth of this industry. I have reached out to people in the industry, and when my son had his psychotic break from their products, and I was completely harassed and threatened and told to go kill myself, and some of them are just completely delusional, and I have not met one person from the industry that has been willing to have a conversation with me, which is very unfortunate. I belong to a parents organization called Mom Strong. We tell our stories to unmask the marijuana charade. Lori Robinson out of California started this organization when she lost her son, Shane Robinson, to his psychotic breaks from marijuana. He was in and out of marijuana-induced psychosis, and he finally took his own life because of what the damage marijuana did to his brain. And she wants the nation to know what can happen with this high-potency marijuana. He was recommended medical marijuana after his ACL repair because he did not like the side effects of the opioids medications. So please be aware of the side effects. Not every person who tries marijuana is going to have a psychotic break, but it's happening more and more, and we're seeing it more and more with the high potency marijuana. This is Andy Zorin. Sally Schindel is his mom, and she's another Mom Strong mom who helped start Mom Strong. And Andy served our country. He was in the Army, and he was recommended medical marijuana too. And you need to know he was 31 from his marijuana suicide, and Shane was 25. So it's not just the teenage brain. This high potency marijuana is wrecking people's brains, and may they rest in peace, and may their moms, may their voices be given a chance. In Andy's suicide note, he said marijuana ruined his brain and his soul, and he just could not get off the addiction of it. And when you allow the medical marijuana industry into your community, this is what it looks like. This is the south side of Pueblo, Colorado. This is a medical marijuana shop right next door to the Gold Academy High School, okay? So right next door, the kids get to see advertisements for medical and recreational marijuana, which I'm telling you is the same. Tons of pipes and bongs, nice colors, beautiful colors for them to see, pictures of marijuana and everything like that. And then out front, you have somebody waving a sign, come get your free pipes. So that's what the medical marijuana industry does. They talk about how they don't want to expose kids and they want to be safe and all this other stuff, but then they come to your community and they set up shop right next door. And if you want to see more of this, you can go to my YouTube channel and see that. To the people of Missouri, do not allow the medical marijuana into your community. You will regret it. This is the biggest issue that is destroying our country. It is fueling the addiction crisis. It is fueling the mental health crisis. A 7-fold increase for suicide, and that's with low potency. We have the highest potency marijuana ever exists. May this industry not come to your community. Thank you.